I read Drew Rosenhaus's book, A Shark Never Sleeps, and every time I have a little motivation issue, I just go back and read some of the highlighted things, and I get all fired up, to be honest with you. So I love that book. There's other books that I read. I'm always reading 2 or 3 books that I just loved, and I just not, failure is not an option. So we just keep going forward. I talk to my coach a lot. Whenever there's a business problem that like back in 2007 was a huge problem because most of my past business was pre-construction buyers. Anybody with me on that one? What happened to them? So my business stopped. So I said, look, what am I going to do? The only thing that's selling is REO listings. So she said, well, you got to get into REO listings. I said, fine. So every issue out there, there's every strategic issue, there's some sort of thing you can do to address it to keep your business going.
I don't know. Life is a journey. I mean, I think that is just, I remember hearing this probably 30 some odd years ago, but one of the things is that I really was blessed to have been brought up with a wonderful mother and a father, and very supportive. And it was just always, there's always somebody that has it worse than you do. I mean, this morning I get a call. My daughter works the night shift. She's in her 4th year of residency and as an OBGYN, and I mean, she was crying, and she doesn't cry that often, but let me tell you, to hear her tell me that this baby wasn't breathing, I'm saying, you know what, my life here doing real estate is nothing life and death. I mean, and that is life and death. And I'm so blessed to be able to do what I'm doing. Luckily this baby did live this morning, but she said it was like there must have been 20, really emergency things happened last night, and there's 2 doctors in there, and she was just she said this morning she was just, her hands were shaking because she said she didn't get to eat, she didn't get to, she hasn't, they're on sleeping on 4 hours sleep. How do you deal with that? And I always say, somebody else always has it worse than I do. And I'm blessed that I have a great team. And we all talk about, each one in our office, I know have problems, but we all help each other out. Jimmy this morning, one of my REO realtors, his wife's having the C-section this morning. And it was just so great. He sent us a picture of her. And, we're all so excited for each other. And I think it's just about being a family. And that's what my team is. It's really a family.
Follow that.
Oh,
I'm very good about taking my regular days off and keeping my personal trainer appointments, and I make sure that my team all does too, that they all, have the regular things that they do for their outlets, and we too, we try to keep everything in perspective. We try to, we look at most of our sellers are dying, death, divorce, and diapers are the 3 Ds of real estate. And you're trying to watch what they're going through and saying, what's happening to us. So we lost a sale this morning. Their whole life is being turned upside down. And you try to do it that way. We also put affirmations up on the wall, and just sometimes they're just funny things. We play jokes on each other, and things like that. No, not to hurt, just to keep each other knowing that we care about each other.
I actually liked on your bio there. When it's not fun, you're just going home. I mean, there's days where, hey, it's really just not exactly how you need it to be, and you just need to step away from it for a minute to come back the way you normally would be. They do sometimes try to suck us into that drama, and that's not really what we're here to do. How do you handle letting a team member go? Okay, and how do you address that with the remaining members of your group?
It's been about 2 years since that last happened, but with that particular team member, I think that she saw it coming, and we sat down outside the office, and I was, told her I didn't think she was happy, and what was it going to take in her life to make her happy. And it turned out it wasn't real estate, so it worked out fine. As far as the rest of the group, I went back and told, gathered them all and told them this is what happened, and that she may want to speak to them each on their own terms, and it worked out fine. It was really not an issue for anybody, so it was just redistributing some of the responsibilities, that's all.
I've had, a few people that have left, and with the team, we just tell them straight out why they left. You know, I mean, one was looking for a different type of compensation, and you know, it just didn't work in our system, and I thought they would be better suited in another system. And then when at the very beginning of my career of having assistants, I had one that was an alcoholic, and you know, let me tell you, I mean, she only lasted like 3 days. Well, needless to say, the manager let her go because you know you have to be very careful in what you say, you know, when it's something like that, because otherwise you got to send them to treatment and everything else. So, but that was, you know. So I've learned now to have somebody else interview people, you know, besides myself, and you know, things like that. So, I try to let somebody else do the. If it's, well, I haven't had anybody. Only one let go this year, and it was just more of a mutual thing, and we're real good friends, and you know, the team was fine about it.
Yeah, other than independent contractors who just assist on a part-time basis, I don't remember the last time we had really a problem where we had to sit with somebody and say, look, it's not working out. So, you know, because we have pretty good accountability in place. So they kind of self-realize when it's not working out. That's when I had, you know, all the bar agents quit in 48 hours. Because every morning I asked them, you know, I said, you're prospecting from 8 to 9:15, right? Okay, so then why is everything still in red from yesterday? And there's silence, you know, and then the next 2 days later they all quit. So it kind of self-weeds itself out. So we haven't really had and we hire carefully too. You know, we, like Martha said, you know, when I first hired the first assistant, it was somebody that was just like me, and we know how that turns out. And then we would run ads, you know, call for more info. You know what happens when people call you for jobs. So then we had fax resumes too. Then we took that out. Now people need to use the internet, so now it's email resumes too. And we just post the interview. We realized after, you know, 20 people come in asking the same questions, so we just made a questionnaire that we posted online that they got to fill out the questionnaire and email it to. And then we have a process where you screen out based on certain characteristics, and our manager would interview the 5 and pick the 3 that are the best, and I would talk to the 3. So out of 250, we narrow it down to 3 people. So it takes me 15, 20 minutes of my time and we usually do pretty well and find the right person. So it hasn't really happened.